Good evening, everyone. We want to welcome you to the Keep Punching Zoom here. It's on Monday night. We do this every single Monday night, and we have people on from all over the world, actually, from Australia, New Zealand, Canada, the US, Mexico. Thank you guys for joining us in the time zones that you are on. I know it's early morning some places and late evening other places. We have a great speaker here tonight. My name is Dany Martin, and I am originating this from the Baton Rouge, Louisiana area. My wife, Debbie, and I have been associated with the Juice Plus Company for a little over 35 years now. And I just want to welcome you and introduce you to someone here this evening you're going to hear from. I really encourage you to take some notes. And also, Stacey's going to be talking about some incentives and promotions that the company does. And for those of you maybe in some other countries, you may not have that incentive or that promotion necessarily that may be referenced here tonight, but you do have those. And so you can use the concepts and principles that Stacey's going to be teaching on tonight. A little bit about Stacey Turner. She's a wife. She has 3 young adult children. She lives in the desert of New Mexico. And but currently she's actually in Texas visiting family, so that's where she's zooming in from this evening. She has been health and wellness space for over 20 years now. She loves helping others, not only with their health and wellness, but she also likes helping entrepreneurs to build stable income from their families. I wonder what she does that with. We'll probably find a little bit out about that. Stacey holds the highest position with the Juice Plus Company worldwide, which is a marketing director. And so she has been very successful with the Juice Plus Company. And I will say this, and I don't know if she wants me to say this or not, but she is also one of the very elite members of the company's corporate advisory council. There's less than 10 people that sit on that, and that's kind of a liaison group between the field and what we do out here with the Juice Plus products and the corporate office or headquarters for around the world. So very prestigious. And Stacey, we appreciate your time and input that you put into that. This evening, as I said, she's going to talk about kind of making the most out of the corporate incentives and promotions and things that they do. I think she's very well qualified to do that because I know earlier this year, the company had a big promotion kicking off the first of the year. She was in the top 3 in the company. So what she's speaking about this evening is not just she's teaching. Sometimes we have heard those that can't do, tell others what to do. And but Stacey's not only going to enlighten us on some things to do, but she has done that. So she doesn't just talk about it; she lives it. And again, she's going to be talking a little bit about some incentives and promotions with the company. So, Stacey, before I turn you loose with the training, and I'm going to encourage everyone to take notes, I would like for you maybe just to tell us a little bit about yourself, your background, maybe your upbringing, or whatever, anything that you would like for the folks that are tuned in here this evening to know about Stacey Turner. So welcome.
Thank you, Dany. Thank you so much. It's always such an honor to be on your call, and when leaders trust me with their team and their people, I don't take that lightly. So I appreciate you inviting me to be on, and I love serving on that advisory board with your lovely wife. It's been very eye-opening to be a part of that, and again, just a huge honor. I love having a seat at that table and being able to speak up for those of us in the field. And I've been with Juice Plus for 22 years, so I was 24 years old when I started learning about Juice Plus and became a partner as well. What some people may not know is I heard about Juice Plus at a booth. So it wasn't from a friend, it was from a complete stranger. And I just made a connection with her as mom. Her name is Sharon Farrar. She's a national marketing director as well. And we just had boys sort of the same age. My interest was there because my son and husband had been sick quite a bit, and I was frustrated with that. And all those fruits and veggies caught my eye. So she did amazing follow-up with me. And when we say it takes 6 to 9 exposures, it was at least 9, probably more. I just didn't know what I didn't know. And I'm forever grateful that she stuck with me and she kept, leading me and guiding me along to help me make that that decision. It was a big paradigm and shift in my head from vitamins to whole food nutrition, from being sick to disease prevention, from taking wellness into my own hands versus just relying on a doctor to get us well. And it took time for that. So I just say, be patient with people. You just don't know what they don't know yet, and you have to stand true in what you do know. So those booths do work, but just expect to do some really good follow-up for a long time, because you just don't know what somebody's timing in life is too, right? So yeah, total stranger that I learned about Juice Plus from.
Absolutely. Well, and we've got a lot of folks I know on here that do a lot of trade shows or farmers markets, or as you said, booths and things like that. They do work. It's getting out there and getting in front of people and exposure of that. Stacey, a little bit about maybe your upbringing or your professional or career, or what did you do prior to 22 years ago, finding out or stumbling across Juice Plus?
Yeah, that's a great question. Something that I often think about with this entrepreneurial spirit that I've always had is I really got that from my dad. And I saw my dad work really hard for a company for 25 years. And at the end of that 25 years, at his retirement, I don't know exactly what happened. I was in junior high, so I don't know the details. I'll have to go back and ask him questions about it now. But I just know that somehow he lost out on like half of the savings, the 401k, whatever that was that he had put in. Half of it was gone. And it was really somebody else's decision. Maybe it was the company, the way they had structured things. I'm not exactly sure, but I just really remember that rocking him. He had given 25 years of his life into this company, and to have a sort of a betrayal is really what that looked like. But at that same time, he was starting his own business, and he had invented something that is for the oil field and the natural gas wells, which is really big industry in New Mexico. And he had invented these, and I saw him take this invention to different investors. And I went with him even as in junior high, and I saw him speaking with these really high, paid company individuals, and it did make a lasting impact on me. And what I saw is him step from that stable career, right, where he had put his time into that, and he thought, this is the retirement I was going to get. That shifted, and it wasn't what he thought he was walking away to, stepping into this world of entrepreneurship and business owner, and how scary that was for him. And I saw him do the hard things and really put in the hard work and do the networking, and he became a very wealthy man. And he grew that wealth through having his own business, working for himself, not for the 25 years that he worked for somebody else. And that stuck in my head. And I remember, even as an, young married, I worked as a dental assistant for a couple of years. And although I liked the work, I didn't necessarily like the dental office that I worked with, and I was bound by the number of hours that I could work, and even how many dollars they were willing to pay me those hours. So I let go of that job even before I had kids, and I was making good money, but I just didn't have the time flexibility that I wanted and the autonomy for myself. So I had different things that I did to make income. I love generating income. I love that there's so many different ways, and especially now in today's world, to generate income. And so I taught quilting lessons, I babysat, I made these diaper cakes, and had a website before websites were like really even a thing. My husband helped me make that. And I would do booths where I sold these diaper cakes. They were for baby showers, and that was before Juice Plus. So I have always had that entrepreneurial mindset. So when Juice Plus came into my life, I still didn't think like, hey, this is something I could build income with. In fact, I was pretty hesitant about joining on into the business. I said, I'll share Juice Plus if I'm not going to be the Juice Plus lady. Well, I did become the Juice Plus lady because I fell in love with the education and just the core community of this company, and the culture of this company, the education stance that we have and that we share with other people. But I was 24 at the time, so I was young. I didn't know much about business at all. And yeah, so that's kind of where my entrepreneur spirit came from with my dad.
That's awesome. You've kind of been in entrepreneurial training most of your life, then it sounds
Yeah.
like. one of my favorite books, in fact, I got it on the book on the shelf right behind me, is Rich Dad Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki. And it kind of sounds like your dad taught you the concepts of that book, meaning that, one dad had the traditional job and worked for somebody else, and the other one was an entrepreneur, and the differences in those, not that one's better or worse, just that they're different. And
Yeah.
so that's awesome. Well, I want you to dig into what we're talking about here tonight about, the company incentives and promotions and things that they do, because so many people in their mind, they'll think, I don't know if I can do this. Is this for me? I'm sure somebody else is going to win. I don't have a chance, and all these types of things. And I know we've all had that little person in our brain saying those things and talking to us. So get us through that tonight. I'm going to turn it over to you and encourage everybody to take some good notes, and just kind of, let us know more on that topic and subject, simply, as I said earlier, because you have lived it and done it. It's not just, trying to teach someone how to do it. So take
Yeah.
it away, and I'm going to take some notes.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Dany. I really appreciate that. And, when I think about company incentives, you said it, it really does start with your mindset. If you think this is for other people, it's not for me, it probably will be. So, the cool thing about this one that we have is it's a 90-day, not just 1 month. Sometimes I feel like the 1 month, like you just wrap your head around it and you're like, okay, I want to do this. And then you start moving towards action. And then, it takes a bit and then it's off to the next thing. So I love that this one is 90 days for us here in the United States. But really, it does take a mindset of, okay, I want that. I want to work towards that. And I think work is the word there. Like we have to put the effort into the activity to get the results. And nobody that is in this company that is high position within Juice Plus just slid their way in there. You talk to them, you ask them, they have put in the work. And a lot of times that work is on ourselves, right? Like that personal growth, reading those books, like you mentioned, having just a different thought process about this as a business that you're growing, being willing to invest in yourself, investing in time in yourself, investing in personal development and skill sets, investing in going to corporate led events like conference or boot camps, those type of things, because all of that is an investment in your business. And if somebody's never been a business owner, then there is a very different mindset of a business owner than, somebody that is an employee at that same business. And we see that with my husband's business as well. And so that stepping into that business owner, that ownership of it versus sort of the passive would look like, I'll talk to people about Juice Plus, and if it comes up in subject, I'll share that with them, but I don't want to like have to follow up with people because I don't want to be pushy and I don't really want to be a salesman. So if it comes up, I'll share it with them. I love Juice Plus, but I'm not going to really just be active and do this business. And if that's I think probably where most of us walk in. Honestly, a lot of people kind of have that mindset, but something has to shift at some point. For me, it was about 3 weeks in. I realized I'm talking to people about Juice Plus, but I'm not getting in results. Nobody's ordering, and I can't help them until Juice Plus is in their body. And I don't want to just be someone making noise and nothing ever comes of it. And so I was like, I want to be effective at this. What do I need to do to be effective? Because there are other people sharing this and they're ordering, they're getting orders, and there's other people building teams. So if they can do it, why can't I? There has to be something that I'm missing. And that was that switch in my head. Literally, it was about 3 weeks. And I decided, okay, if I'm going to do this, I want to do it right, which is the exact words I told Sharon. So I'd been trying to do it my own way up until that point, but I had to decide, okay, I want to do this and I want to do it right. And then once that shift happened in my brain, I stepped into those conversations in a different way. I shared information in a different tone. I had a confidence even because I really was doing this and I was confidently leading them to the confidence I didn't have, which was in my sponsor. She had known about Juice Plus. She very much had a strong belief in Juice Plus. I was brand new. I needed her confidence to carry mine. And so that's exactly what happened. I connected my people that I was talking talking to connected them to her. So something else that I recognized with any of these incentives is it takes time for conversations to kind of be planted, for those seeds to be planted, and for that to be watered. And so if we, okay, let's just say the last 8 months has not been the easiest with our business, right? There have been a lot of people that I have heard personally say, I'm just going to wait until they get it all figured out. I don't have the capacity right now to learn it, to then learn it changes and I learn something else and then it changes and I have to learn something else. I knew if I stayed in that mindset, I was going to get really far behind and I was going to miss out, because the longer you sit and wait for somebody else to figure it out, the more foreign it becomes to you, the less confident you are, the less your passion shows through. You don't have the conversation because you don't know the information. What if they say yes? Do I know how to help them order? How would I invite them to my team if they say yes? Do I know how to get them started? Right? So then you hold back from the conversations and you're just not having as many, or you're not as bold and confident walking in. And for all good reasons, guys, it's been rough and there have been a lot of changes and it's been a lot to keep up. And I don't dismiss that at all. I've been sitting right there in that with you guys. We've been through a lot, and we're starting to see things really ease up and getting some of those really important things that our business needs. But what we can stand on is there's still been people building their business all along because they stayed in. They stayed in, and as best we could, with our mindset in the right spot. If we had to adjust that daily, hourly sometimes at some point, but I just kept staying with the activity. And so anytime we step back from business and we step back from conversations and we're just waiting, and it could be seasonal, right? I understand that. It could be seasonal in your family. It could be, you just had a new baby. Maybe your kids are involved in a ton of things. It could be you have aging parents. It could be that you're traveling as an empty nester. That's us for sure. Different seasons bring in different opportunities to be distracted, also opportunities to have conversations, but there's something has to shift a little bit with each of those seasons in life so that you can keep moving forward. And sometimes we do step back a bit. So if you guys have stepped back a bit, I want to talk with you first. It's totally fine. We get it. All of us had to at some point, and you can only stay engaged with something that's frustrating for so long. So I hope your capacity is back and that you've got some room for some new things that have come along, and you just are open to that, because we have this great future ahead of us. We want you to come along with us, and it's not going to take a whole lot to get caught up, I promise you. So if you felt like you were set back, it's totally fine. Let's just lean back in, and I promise you someone somewhere above you knows what they're doing right now with the websites, and they can help walk you through it. But we don't know that you're struggling as leaders unless you reach out to us, or we recognize the struggle has been there, but we don't know to reach out to you unless you reach out to us. And then we'll totally give you all of our attention. We will. We want you happy again, and we want you confident, and we can show you those things. So if you've stepped back a little for any time, it's funny, like even a week's vacation, I can come back into the business and I'm like, I don't know how to do this business. How do I do this? What do I do? And it's like I lose my mind for a week. And then I'm like, no, I do know how to do this. I need to talk to some people. I've got those conversations out there. So it's time to start kind of stirring those, waking those conversations up. And how do we do that? One of the best ways is through an event. So what can that event look like? It can look like you hosting your own event at your house, having dinner, having some friends over, some people that you've already shared Juice Plus. You can present Juice Plus with a one simple change presentation. You can do a watch party where you watch a video that somebody else has already recorded, and then that is your event. You can do a live watch party like Dr. Mitra Ray is going to be speaking later this month. That's an excellent one to invite people over and have dinner and then watch her video. So it can look like one-on-one with someone in a coffee shop, and you're just having coffee and you're connecting with them and presenting information. It could be in a back room at a coffee shop. We call those coffee chats. My team, especially my NMD team with Gloria Hare, they do a really great job of those, and they do them once a month. They have different people share their stories. They have sort of a little bit different topic that they speak on, and they have research that backs that up. And Gloria weaves those stories back in with the research to build that confidence back into that and belief. And they have sometimes like 35 people there. Where we do it in the back room that we have, there's room for about 12 of us. And sometimes it's me and Kim that are in there. Sometimes the room is full and people are standing around the edges, and we've got that room packed. So the key is, you just find what you enjoy. What kind of presentations do you enjoy? What type of events do you like? Do you like salad in a jar events? I love the sourdough events because somebody actually comes when they say they're going to come. They pay to come to the class and they show up. You can have 12 people saying they're coming and 12 people actually come, which is beautiful, right? And we, of course, share Juice Plus strongly with that. But that's one of the things I would say. If you've been stepped back for a while, jump back in with set a date, set an event date. Do that with a buddy if that makes, build some more confidence, and stand in the fact that you do know how to build this business. You do know how. You know how to share Juice Plus. You do know how to talk to people, and just stand in that confidence that's already there. You're not starting over because you're walking in with all of this experience that you've had in the past. So just walk in strongly with that, set an event, and that's going to start conversations going. So if you're brand new and you're working towards QSC, you get to do this new incentive, and you get to QSC, and you get to collect all the prizes along the way. If you're an existing team member, you get to just keep doing the DMO, the daily method of operation, the basics of our business, talking to new people, following up with those people that we share with, great customer care and connections, offering other products to them. Then really working with your team, buddying up with them, partnering, doing some accountability with them, and hey, let's do this together. If you can just focus in those areas, and do this means talking to people and events. If you can do those two things, that's what builds this business. So if you're kind of starting from ground zero, is brand new, you have this amazing warm market of people that already love you, right? So let's just tap into them. They already want to be your friends. They're going to be interested in what you have, and what you have to say, what you've been experiencing, and that is going to propel you forward with this. If you're an existing team member and it's been a while since you've done activity, or maybe you have years of contacts, it's just thinking, how do I wake them up? How do I wake up these conversations? And then giving yourself a little bit of grace. It takes time for those conversations to wake up, and then to get up, and then to move and come to the event, and then to move and decide that they want to order, right? So it could take a couple of weeks, like 3 weeks. I would say if you're really doing the DMO, if you're talking to those people, reaching back around to them, if you've set an event, you start inviting to those events, if you go to a farmer's market and set up a booth, and that's how you're going to meet some new people, give that about 3 weeks of good, serious activity, working, doing the work, and then you'll start to see those conversations come to fruition. So you'll see that they start coming to the event. You'll see that you'll start getting some of those orders. People will say that they're ready when you're saying, I would love to help you get started. Let's get you going. They'll say, yes, they're ready. And you'll start seeing that, but it's going to take a bit, okay? Especially if you've stepped back for the last 8 months. Give yourself some grace with that. Do the activity and trust that activity will always get results. It always does. So those are my encouragements. Like, your mindset has to be there. Okay, I want to try for this. I'm going to go for it. And think of it like Pac-Man. We're just going along and we're doing this activity. We get customers and we collect points, and then we go up this way and we collect some more points and we get the prize, and we get to keep going and we collect the prize, and we just keep going, and they add up and they stack up on top of each other with this 90-day run that we have, this Boost Your Business. So where's your mindset? Do you think you can? And then do the work. And I will say in January, I wasn't thinking I'm going to be the top five of, and I was the third, this top third person in the company for the most orders that month. But I did know this was a really great offer. We got the free products for our customers. It was shakes, 2 bags of shakes, and I think a box of Luminate, if I'm remembering right, if they ordered the trio. Well, a lot of people had already been thinking about it, right? I had already had the conversations, and all of those orders that came in, they were sort of the payoff for the time that I had put into those conversations. Some of those came out of nowhere on Facebook. I just posted it. I was excited about it. I was talking to my customers. I was letting team know, and people were reaching out to me, and that doesn't always happen. And I really feel that that was like a blessing from God too, because I was really sick that month, which was odd. Like I had no voice. I couldn't talk for 3 weeks. It's terrible. If you know me, that's torture. And it was just odd. I've not been that sick like since before Juice Plus. In this month that I end up with 24 orders, right? So it had to do with the work I had done already, and then waking those conversations up and posting, waking up people. They were reaching out, and I wasn't thinking you just don't know. Like you don't know what other people are doing in their business. We're not all posting, this is how many I've customers I've gotten, right? And then those last couple days, it was at the boot camp with Carrie. I was just following up and just kept saying, hey, there's 2 more days. Like, I don't want you to miss out. And I just kept following up. And then the orders just kept coming in. It was just crazy. And then to end up third. So it's not like I decided I'm going to get third place, but I did decide I'm going to get this information to my customers because it's really great for them. This is, and the people that I've talked to, I can't sit on this. They need to know this. And so I was willing to put in the work, and then the results came. And so I just want to encourage everyone to really trust that. If you put in the effort and you have the conversations, if you do the follow up, if you have events and you are consistent over the next 90 days, as busy as life is, I get it. If we were to all unmute and tell how busy we are, it would be this competition of who has the busiest life. Like oftentimes that's what happened is like, no, I've got all of this going on. Well, I've got all of this going on. No, I'm the busiest person in the room. We all think we're the busiest person in the room, and yet busy people get things done. I'll take a busy person over somebody that's just sitting around, has nothing to do, because those busy people, they've got networks, right? They've got conversations and friendships already out there. We're just going to wake those things up. So decide, I want to do it, then do the activity. If you don't know how to do that, you need to work on your skill set. Bring your upline in, your sponsors, and help them help you develop that skill set, or rely on the skill set they already have to help you move those conversations forward. And then just have fun with it and really break it down in a way that you understand. And that's the way my brain works. I'm a very visual person. I'm going to need to like, what does this look like? So without even sharing any graphics with you guys, I just want to really quickly tell you, if you're an existing partner, you need 6 customers over the next 90 days and help 3 people to Partner Plus. So not just sponsor 3 people, but help those 3 people get to Partner Plus, which means you're going to help them place their Juice Plus order for their family, their husband and wife ordering the quad, and they add Illuminate, they're at Partner Plus, right? So it's just the basics of that. So 6 customers divided by 3 months is 2 customers a month. 3 Partner Pluses divided by 3 is 1 Partner Plus a month. So what if you said, my goal this month is to get 2 customers and 1 Partner Plus? I mean, there's been a lot of months, guys, that our goal has been 5-1, right? 5 customers and 1 new Partner Plus. So this is 2 customers. We're talking trio just because that's the ease of this conversation, but obviously in the superfood powder, gummies, or capsules will be or like a quad would be enough orders. So it's 2 customers a month, 1 Partner Plus, and you add that up at the end, you get all of the prizes. You have 90 days to do that. You get all of the prizes, not one of the prize. You get all of the prizes because all of those points stack up as you get them. So it's 900 for the first prize, then it's 3,600 for the next prize, but it's not 900 plus 36, right? It's 900 and you eat your way there. Now you're at 36, or I think it's 1,800. Then you eat your way up there. It's 3,600 points. Then you eat your way up and it's 4,500 points, right? So that's what I mean. They all stack upon each other. So you get all the prizes and basically you've fast tracked yourself to QSE. So if it's been a while since you've gotten a partner to QSE, you now know the activity that it would take to help somebody get to QSE. You know the amount of people you had to speak to, you know the amount of events that you did and the people that came. So you now have the ability to help somebody else get to QSE because you just did it. You just did it. And you get the sponsor title rewards for those 3 Partner Plus. It was the extra $300, plus your paycheck increasing from those 6 customers, plus all the prizes. And I don't know about you guys, but I was like, I want the suitcase, which is funny because I have a suitcase. I don't need a suitcase, but I want the suitcase. So what of those prizes do you want? And if it's not for you, who do you want to give the prize to? But why can't you have the suitcase too, right? Or that remarkable tablet. But I just hope that encourages you, breaks it down a little bit. I have some great resources that are just tracking sheets that you can use to write in those and just see it. I want you to see it in your mind. Can you do 2 customers a month? 2 new customers and 3 Partner Pluses. And that's all of the prizes and the confidence that comes with that and the paycheck and the helper's high. That's 6 people that you're going to help directly increase their health. Then it's 3 people that you get to help increase their wealth and their health because they're getting Juice Plus for their whole family. I mean, everybody wins here. Everybody wins. And I just encourage you, just say yes, do the activity, trust that the results are going to come, and just have fun with it. And then you get to walk in to the next conference with your suitcase with the Juice Plus logo on it, and you got your suitcase, you have your water bottle, whatever excites you. I will work more for a prize even than I will for money, which is, I don't know, it's just me. So I hope this is helpful to you guys. I would love to share those resources with you, Dany. You can send it out if you guys don't already have it, but just decide, let's do it. Let's go have some fun.
Awesome. That is awesome. 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 Look, I took a bunch of notes here, but two things really stuck out for me. And one was you said activity produces results. And so my question to everyone on here is what activities are you doing? And you gave a lot of examples of events and talking to people and things like that. So we got to remember activities, and there's work involved with that. And then I think you've simplified this so much by, over 90 days, just who can't get a couple of customers and a partner plus develop that. Gosh. And the other thing that stuck with me, Stacey, is the fact that, because I hear this a lot of times over the years, but you had 22 years and you put on 24 customers in 1 month. I figured you'd already talked to everybody you knew, right?
I
But
had. I
yeah,
did. And it was a lot of those conversations that I had had that just wasn't the right timing for them. But I had stayed connected. I had stayed relevant in their life to when they were ready. They saw this great special. They knew to come back to me. And some of those were customers that added for a spouse that the spouse had never ordered. And they were like, okay, let's go get on board. Some were, they had waited till their child turned 4 so they could get it free for them on the Healthy Starts, and they were 4, and so they decided to order. Like they just kind of came from different places, but it was all of the work that we often don't realize that is the work. All of the conversations, all of the lunches, all of the coffee with someone, all of those text message follow-ups, all the Facebook posts, all the things that don't really seem like work, that is the work. That is the work. That is what we do. And all of those little things that don't get any results right away, you don't know that 2 years from now, that person will say yes. One of those customers, Dany, had been somebody I had talked to 20 years before, 20
wow.
years. And he ordered that month. He came over to our house for dinner. They were going through town and they came and stopped over for the house. And he was like, okay, I'm ready to order Juice Plus. And I was like, I picked myself up. I was like, what? Wait, did you really just say that? Like, okay, why now? And he told me had some health issues, right? He's pushing 50 or maybe turned 50 this year. His timing changed. Life changed for him. He had some concerns that he was ready to work on. And he said, I just want to buy from you, just from your supply. And I said, I mean, I can give you from my supply, but if you order from the company, Andrew he gets his for free. And he was like, wait, what? And I was like, yeah, it's called the Healthy Starts. Our kids are still getting their Juice Plus for free. Oh, and you get the shakes and you get and he's like, yeah, why would I not do that? And I was like, yeah, why would you not? And so timing can be everything, but those orders came from all those people I had talked to, and some of them were new. Some of them I had not even spoken to, and they saw Facebook posts. But what if I hadn't posted? What if I said, everybody in my life already knows that I do Juice Plus. Why do I have to post something else? Not every, no, I never get orders from that. I hardly get any interaction from posts. Facebook doesn't work for me. Right? But I didn't. I just trusted the activity was going to get the results, and I did what I knew was the right thing to do. And I just stayed in activity even though I had no voice that month.
Well, Stacey, this has been awesome. I know everybody has picked up a lot of good tips here this evening, and you're exactly right. We've always said what you do today may not show up until next week, next month, or 20 years later, right? But by the same token, I want to leave you guys with this. What you don't do today will show up next week or next month or whatever. So it's the consistency and staying on track and staying focused and moving forward. So Stacey, thank you so much for this tonight. This was great. The information was concise, and I know everyone, guys, just go out and apply these principles and concepts that you've heard this evening, and you will see success with that. So with that, guys, we're going to take this off of record and give you guys the opportunity to unmute. And thanks, Stacey, for taking time out for being with us this evening.